Hi everyone, today we're getting together for a new video. We're going to be talking about the Tech Republic, the tournament that's just arrived, that I've won. What happened in this tournament? Was it good? Was it fun? Did we have fun? Did we play well? Did we eat well? Did we travel well? Did we visit well? I'll tell you everything. Here we go. So, Tech Republic, a tournament held in Barcelona. For 3 days, there were about 350, I think. I think there were 350 of us. Something like that. Was there? I don't even know how many we were. 250. And it was quite pretty stacked. Very, very stacked. In fact, the whole of Europe was there. In any case, all the European bosses were there. Unfortunately, we had a few DQs. We had Emephry, who couldn't make it. Ramin. So, Mr. R, who couldn't make it. Flo, who couldn't make it. So we had a few DQs, unfortunately. But without those DQs, I think we'd have had almost all the top European players. They were the best players. So there was Raflo, there was Bloom, there was Siski, there was Luigi. So it was the best of the best. So we arrived on Friday. We didn't have time to visit. We ate paella. It was very good. We saw Barcelona's most famous monument. Well, I think it's the most famous. It's a monument in spades. La Sagrada Familia. That's it. And it was really impressive. I'd never seen a monument like that. So stylish. I really liked it. As for the tournament, it went well. The venue wasn't really that big, but it didn't have to be, because there weren't that many of us either. There were about 350 of us. There was still a fair amount of setup, but not enough in the sense that it lacked free play. It lacked free play. It was very, very difficult to get free play. Fortunately, I had my Vector with me. Shootouts has Diziotech. His Discord is Dizio, and his name is Dizio. And he made Vector System, which is called Vector System. And the website is Vector System, because the product is a vector, which means you can play just about anywhere. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to play. And thanks to that, I was able to warm up. I was able to play with Crepe, for example. I was able to play with Nay. And that helped us warm up for the tournament. Thanks to that, we played well. We were able to learn things. We had a good laugh and a good time. In any case, that was Saturday, but it's a day that's a little more chill. Then on Sunday came the more important day, when I took on the next competitor. So, I don't know his nickname anymore, but it was a Steve. Then it was Nay Toru. Then it was Raflo. So, in the set against Nay Toru, it was 3-0. But I thought Nay played pretty well. Usually, games are different, and sometimes I even lose games. And there have been times when Nay has given me 3 stocks. But I thought he played really badly, in the sense that the reasons he stocked me 3 times were the same reasons he lost. In fact, all he did was make cards. All he did was go for his combos. He never stopped. And that meant that in some games, if I wasn't careful, I could get 3 stocks. But if I was paying attention, I'd be the one stocking up. And that meant, okay, there was 3-1. The game that took it, I made 3 stocks. But the other 3 were actually 2 stocks for me. But this was 3-0. And none of them were really destruction. So there, it was all tight. And he was just playing well the whole time. Instead of playing well one moment and not knowing why, he played well all the time. That's why it was so much tighter. And I thought it was a lot more interesting than usual. That said, even though it was 3-0, he played much safer. He wasn't getting backhanded. He wasn't doing the same timings all the time. So, very interesting. Then I had Raflo. Raflo was on fire at that tournament. Super, super strong. Fortunately, I managed to clutch with wafts in full neutral, or at a disadvantage that enabled me to take all 3 games. There were still some very complicated situations. He spaced well. He was safe. He had the right reads at the right time. He killed me a little more easily than usual. He found new reads. In the end, I adapted to not taking these kills at low percentages, because it's very important for Rio to survive, knowing that he has trouble earning a neutral. He also has trouble extending his advantage against Palu. So if he dies early, it's just impossible to win. You really have to rely on how you survive, in fact, in a lot of matchups. And this matchup is one of them. So, Raflo, it was a very close and interesting game. Then I had Lugui in the top 8. Last time I managed to beat Lugui, but it's a complicated matchup for me. I know what to do, but if I don't do it for 2 seconds, I can die. Literally, my 3 stocks can be gone in 15 seconds if I'm not really careful. So there were 3 2s, and the last game I edge-guarded or killed at 160, by the way. The first stock in the last game, I gave him 160%. I must have killed him in 10-12 interactions. In the end, I got a heft tile, and he didn't even touch me. I must have won 12-15 interactions in the stock. I was a bit annoyed, because it's not normal for me to kill at 160. But anyway, the next stock, I edge-guarded it, and the next stock, I edge-guarded it again. So, it was a 3 stock. But it's not normal to have to win so many interactions compared to him. If he grabbed me just once, I'd die, no matter what my percentages were. Well, maybe not anyway. But if I had like 0 and he grabbed me, I could die. And what happened was, game 3, I think I was a little less careful. I was getting grabbed and dying at 0. It's a bit annoying as a matchup, but fortunately, the offstage is very, very important in this matchup. I knew how to abuse the offstage. I knew how not to get killed by his setups when I had to. 3-2 for me, even if it was very close, except for the last game. Then after Bloom, as the final winner, I did setups I'd never seen before. I did combos I'd never seen before. He was quite surprised, I think, by the way I played. But also, let's say the fact that he'd played with Siski before. And maybe I don't know who'd played him before, but I think it was someone maybe who wasn't playing the matchup well, I'm not sure. But in fact, when I saw him play against me in the final winner, he didn't expect me to play so well against Bayonetta, I have the impression. As a result, he only did Bayo stuff. And even when I punished him, he kept going. So there were 3-0s, then I met him again in Grand Final 1, and there, instead of just doing full Bayonetta options, he adapted a little more. He used his fundamentals more, knowing that I know he has the fundamentals of a raving lunatic. I think he could use them even more with Bayo, instead of going for typical Bayo options that I expect all the time now, because I know the matchup well. He should just use his fundamentals, mix up a bit more, surprise me a bit more. And that's literally what he did, and it was much more complicated. In the first set of the grand final he won. He won 3 in the first set. Then, in the second set, I managed to get him to 3-0. I managed to understand what he was looking for, what he'd changed in his game, and what I should have changed. I was a little less hot too. Of course, I made a few more mistakes than before, knowing that I hadn't done a set for a while. He just lost, so he was a bit hotter. But in the second set, 3-0, I managed to get my act together, and the games were a little less tight. I even remember that one set ago. I killed him off at 0. I was very happy about that. I edgeguarded a Bayonetta at 0, twice in the set. So the first time was in the final winner, where I foot stomped him to 0 when he came to get me. And the second time, same thing, I up B, footstool, then down air in spike. I was really happy with this way of edgeguarding. I'd thought about it last time, and I was able to find it. So I was very happy with the way I played. Very, very good tournament, actually. There were some crazy matches. Raflo was extremely strong at this tournament. Bloom, super strong as usual. Siski very strong until he met Bloom. The matchup is complicated for fun. Pepsale beats Leon, and Neytoru beats Orion. I think this is the biggest upset of the tournament. Neytoru, I think he was in 10-0, something like that, against Orion. He just couldn't do it. It wasn't possible. And then he played really well. He stayed grounded. He didn't take any risks. He didn't get reversed at 24. And I think he beat him 3-0. It's crazy to think that he's lost 10 sets in a row. And this time he beat him 3-0s. Then you'd have to look at the sets to see if it was Orion who was messing up or if it was just Nay who changed completely. But of course, it's certainly the case that he's been making very big mistakes for the last 10-15 sets he's played. And that this time perhaps he's made fewer of them. It's not possible to make 15-0s, get smoked by someone at 15-0s, and then smoke him 3-0s from one day to the next like that. Either Nay had been making extremely stupid mistakes before, and now he'd changed them, and Orion was disoriented. Or Orion played really badly this time. I haven't seen the sets, but we'll be able to analyze them in other videos. It'll be interesting. So much for the Tech Republic. In any case, it was a good tournament. I had a great time. I was able to win it. I got the trophy, which I gave to Siski, because the trophy was actually to Samus. And it's borderline, they did it for Siski, actually. I'm not going to take it home and have Samus behind me. That's not for me. It's really, they did it for Siski, so I gave it to him. He was happy, he thanked me, and I made him happy. Anyway, thanks for stopping by, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Ultimate Voltaire, you work and come as you are. We'll welcome you with open arms, with quality over the top. May our voices be heard loud, may our neighbors hear us out. Yeah, take a seat and grab a drink, watch our players make us proud, or show us your dazzling moves.